He should have been trading baseball cards and worrying about math tests. Instead, he was meticulously planning murders, leaving behind a calling card so disturbing it still gives seasoned FBI agents nightmares. This is the bone-chilling true story of Ethan Carter, the baby-faced killer who turned childhood trauma into a cross-country killing spree, and the shocking truth about how the system failed to stop him. The rain lashed against Toledo General Hospital's windows on October 11, 2009, as if nature itself was protesting Ethan Carter's birth. His mother Sarah, a beloved pediatric nurse who'd endured multiple miscarriages, bled out during delivery, her final whispered words begging doctors to save my boy. They did. But in saving infant Ethan, they unknowingly unleashed a horror that would haunt America for years to come. For 12 agonizing months, Ethan's father David tried to cope. A long-haul truck driver with calloused hands and a broken heart, he'd returned from grueling shifts to find his son sleeping in dresser drawers lined with towels. They couldn't afford a proper crib. Neighbors would later recall hearing the man sob himself to sleep, clutching his wife's nightgown. But grief is a relentless predator, and it soon drove David into the arms of Linda Greer. Linda entered their lives like a poison seeping into water. A brassy, chain-smoking diner waitress with a 5-year-old daughter named Emily, she masked her cruelty behind a veneer of small-town charm. At first, David saw only salvation, a woman to care for his motherless son. He never noticed how Linda's smile never reached her eyes when she looked at Ethan. The abuse began subtly. Spilled milk-earning nights locked in the basement. Forgotten chores punished with ice-cold baths. But by Ethan's 4th birthday, Linda discovered her favorite disciplinary tool, the very cigarettes she smoked like a chimney. First incident report, later revealed in court. Victim, Ethan Carter, age 4, presented with second-degree circular burns on left forearm. Mother, Linda Greer, claimed he fell on a space heater. Hospital staff noted pattern consistent with cigarette burns but accepted explanation due to lack of prior reports. By 3rd grade, Ethan's body was a canvas of scars. Teachers documented his violent flinches when smokers passed by, but Linda always had an excuse. Clumsy kid, she'd chuckle, ruffling his hair with manicured nails that dug into his scalp. Meanwhile, Emily, spoiled rotten, would smirk as her mother disciplined Ethan with lit cigarettes for infractions as minor as breathing too loud. The breaking point came on Ethan's 13th birthday. There was no cake, no presents, just Linda's drunken rage when he ate the last Pop-Tart. What happened next would later be pieced together from Ethan's chillingly calm confession. She held me down on the kitchen table. 7 burns, 1 for each year she'd wasted on me. The 7th went, here. At this point in the interrogation, Ethan tapped his left eyelid. That's when I knew what I had to do. Emily died first. The 10-year-old was found in her princess bed, strangled with her own jump rope. Between her eyebrows, a perfect cigarette burn. David and Linda followed 2 days later. Autopsies revealed lethal doses of antifreeze in their coffee. Crime scene photos showed something even more disturbing, post-mortem cigarette burns on their foreheads, the skin blistered in Linda's preferred Marlboro Light pattern. Then Ethan vanished, sparking a manhunt that would soon become something far darker. What followed was a 3-year reign of terror that baffled law enforcement. Ohio, 12 victims found in abandoned warehouses, all smokers. Illinois, 8 corpses along Route 66, each with forehead burns. Michigan, 15 dead in Detroit flophouses, arranged in mocking family portraits. FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit Chief Mark Dunphy noted the disturbing pattern. He wasn't just killing smokers, he was recreating his trauma. The burns were always identical to Linda's punishments. The victims? All had histories of domestic violence or child abuse. This wasn't random, it was punishment. The end came in a Reno budget inn. Ethan's 67th target, undercover cop Ray Kowalski, fought back, slashing the teen's arm before dying. That blood smear on a broken cigarette pack gave investigators their first real lead. Body cam footage from the raid, room 217. Ethan sits cross-legged on the bed, calmly eating a Big Mac. Kowalski's body lies at his feet, a fresh cigarette burn still smoldering. As SWAT moves in, the 13-year-old smiles, "Took you long enough." The courtroom gasped when baby-faced Ethan, now 16, described his crimes with unsettling detachment. "They deserved it," he shrugged when shown victim photos. "They all hurt kids like Linda hurt me." Sentenced to death, Ethan cheated the executioner. Guards found him hanging in his cell, his arms marked with 67 self-inflicted burns. His final journal entry. "Now we all match." The chilling questions no one can answer. Where were the teachers? School nurses documented suspicious burns for years. Why did no one intervene? How did a 13-year-old evade capture for 3 years? FBI files suggest he posed as a runaway, exploiting sympathy. Most terrifying of all, could this have been prevented? That Ohio ranch house still stands empty. Sometimes, locals report smelling cigarette smoke from its boarded-up windows. As for Ethan's victims' families, they're left with unanswerable questions about justice, evil, and whether some childhood wounds never heal, they just fester, until they explode. So I ask you, when does the victim become the villain? Was Ethan born broken, or did the system create this monster? The next time you see someone light up outside a bar, maybe, just for a second, you'll wonder if the ghost of that scarred boy is watching, waiting. Because the most horrifying truth. This wasn't inevitable. One person speaking up could have changed everything. So tell me in the comments, where do you think the system failed most? And if you think this story is disturbing, wait until you hear about the Lullaby murders, but that's a nightmare for another time.